G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my weekly tips. This time I'm going to be predicting round 8, so let's get into it. Starting off, Thursday night, we have the Suns and the Bulldogs. Money's to the Bulldogs and it's at Metricon Stadium. Suns are 7th on the ladder, Bulldogs are 9th on the ladder. Obviously, Bulldogs win against the Bombers last week. That's pretty good for them, and then also the Suns winning against the Swans, I'm pretty sure. That's also good for them, even though Swans are not the greatest. Don't know when the last time they won a game was this season. But yeah, they're not going too great, the Swans. For this one, I reckon I might have to go with the money. I'm not too sure. Metricon Stadium's been both teams' home ground for the past few weeks, so I'm not too sure. I reckon I'll have to tip the Dogs, to be honest. I reckon, yeah, it won't be a big margin. I'm going to tip the Dogs by 21 points. Friday night game, we have the Giants in Richmond at Giants Stadium, 7:50 p.m. The money is to GWS, $1.65 to $2.02. Yeah, once again, I'm not too sure, but because it's at Giants Stadium, Giants did lose against the Lions last week by 20 points, but I reckon they'll come back and I reckon they'll win against the Tigers. Won't be a big margin. I reckon the Tigers could put up a good fight, but I reckon GWS will just get over the line by about 13 points. Alright, some Saturday games now. We have North Melbourne and Carlton. Money's to Carlton at the Gabba. Carlton 11th, North Melbourne 17th. Gotta go Carlton because North Melbourne have been shocking past few weeks. Nothing has changed. Their game style is just absolutely horrendous. Yeah, I said this last week, I'm pretty sure. The Kangas need something big to lift them, I reckon, and for them to get a win. I reckon for the Kangas to get a win, something big will have to lift the team. So I'm going to tip the Blues because obviously Carlton last week, they were amazing against the leaders on top of the table. Yeah, I'm going to tip the Blues. I reckon this could be a bit of a flogging, to be honest, against the Kangas. 1:05 p.m. I'm going to tip Carlton by 37 points. Next up, we have a bit of a rivalry, we can say, from the 2012 Grand Final. Sydney and Hawthorn at the SCG. Both sides absolutely horrible. Money is to the Hawks. I reckon Sydney will get an upset, to be honest. Hawks will probably win, but I'm just going to tip Sydney because I like them more. So I'm going to tip the Swans. Won't be a big margin because both teams are just bad. Yeah, I'm going to tip the Swans to win it by 8 points. Next up, we have Port Adelaide and St Kilda, top of the table versus 6th position, 7:40 p.m. The money is to the Power, $1.35 to the Saints, $3.14. Look, Saints won against Adelaide, but that doesn't really show anything, does it? They did struggle throughout the game, actually. I'm going to tip Port Adelaide to win this just because it's at their home ground. And I'm going to tip them by maybe around 20 points. Sunday games already. Once again, we do have another Monday night. I'm not sure how long they're going to be doing the Monday nights for. Hopefully they do the Monday night games for a few more weeks because they're actually pretty good, to be honest. Nothing else to do on a Monday night, sorry. So yeah, may as well watch some footy. First Sunday game is the Crows and the Bombers at Adelaide Oval. Last on the ladder versus 10th on the ladder. Got to tip Essendon. Once again, both sides not that great. Essendon haven't been too bad, but obviously Crows lost 7 games, haven't won 1 yet. So I'm going to have to tip the Bombers to win this. Maybe around, I don't think it'll be a flog, but I feel like it will just be too easy for the Bombers. Obviously, I did tip the Crows last week to win against the Saints in an upset, but obviously, yeah, that didn't happen. So I don't know if I'm going to go for another upset with the Crows. I feel like they've got to win a game sometime soon. I'm actually going to tip the Crows. Screw it, throw it all in the bag. Tip the Crows. 15 points. Alright, next up we have a pretty big rivalry once again. We have the Eagles and the Pies at Optus Stadium. Collingwood 3rd on the ladder, West Coast 8th on the ladder, 3:35 p.m. Victorian time that is. West Coast $1.63 to win it, and Collingwood are $2.25. I reckon the Pies will actually win this one, even though it is at Optus and it's West Coast's home ground, and obviously West Coast did win against us last week in the Derby. Wasn't a great performance by us. I'm going to tip the Pies to get over the line just because I think they've just been better all around than the Eagles. Eagles, horrible start to the season. Somehow they've bring their way back, but they haven't bet the teams that they've versed to win to come back up on the ladder. They haven't been good opponents at all. So I think it has been a pretty easy couple of weeks for them. In between 10 and 20 points, I'm going to tip the Pies by 17. Second last game, we have Melbourne and Brisbane. Brisbane do have the money to win this one, 2nd versus 12th at Metricon Stadium. Melbourne have won their past 2 games, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they won against the Hawks and then they won against the Suns. So 2 pretty impressive games from the Ds. Very impressive, to be honest. Oh, look, I just don't think they'll be strong enough to beat the Lions, and seems though it is at Metricon Stadium. I feel like Brisbane will just have, I don't know, they'll just feel more comfortable being closer to home, because obviously Queensland has been the hub for many teams over the past few weeks, and Brisbane, they're normally in Queensland, their home obviously is based in Brisbane, so I reckon it will be a close margin, seems though Melbourne have been performing well for the past few weeks. However, I'm going to tip the Lions to win this, we'll say 19 points. Next up, Freo and Geelong, last game of the round. Money is to the Cats, obviously, because Freo, look, we're just bad, to be honest. 8:10 PM Victorian time, which is a bit of a bummer, to be honest. That's pretty late, obviously for a school night as well. I don't know, last year we won against the Cats at Optus Stadium. That was a very big surprise. Look, I just don't think we'll be able to win against the Cats. The Cats did have a pretty poor round against Collingwood at Optus Stadium, but I reckon they just will be too strong against us, and I reckon they'll just trample all over us. Could be a flogging, to be honest. I'm going to tip the Cats by about 32 points. Not feeling confident about this round, but I reckon because I've tipped the Cats, I reckon now Freo will come up and somehow win. That is going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed me doing my round 8 AFL tips. So yeah, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.